What is up, Benchwarmers, and welcome back to another NFL AFC South prediction 2020. The Houston Texans, third place. First, second, and third place, I think could all kind of switch around. A lot of my predictions I know are going to be wrong already because a lot of players seem to have opted out. Uh, would have, I mean, 5 Patriots have opted out, and man. I may do a video on that. I'm not sure, but for now, let's do the Texans. Let's get the big one out of the way. They signed Randall Cobb. Stupid joke. DeAndre Hopkins is gone. Bill O'Brien, you're a freaking moron. Sure, trade him away, but get something back. The best thing they got back was a second round pick. Like, they got David Johnson, but when has he been good since 2016? No. Stop it. Please fire him. I hate Bill O'Brien. Like, I'm a Packer fan. I think if I were to have another team, I'd pick the Texans. I don't know. I just like the Texans for some reason. I mean, I like J.J. Watt. I like Deshaun Watson. I liked DeAndre Hopkins when he was on the Texans. I still like him, but still. They do have, Duke Johnson and David Johnson in the backfield, which, that's okay. I think their offense is going to be fine, though, because without Hopkins, I don't think Deshaun Watson's going to be forcing the ball to Hopkins all the time. He'll have to spread it around, and he's got Randall Cobb, Brandon Cooks, Kenny Stills, depending on, what if he plays based on the kind of stuff that's happened with him lately, and Will Fuller. I think that's a decent wide receiver core, and it's kind of like when Aaron Rodgers lost Devontae Adams in the 2019 season. He spread it around, and he had great stats that those 4 games where he didn't have Adams because he was actually spreading the ball around, doing what he used to do. But let's get into the first 4 with the Texans. Honestly, I don't think they're going to be as bad as I have them predicted here, but I have it written down. I'm going to keep it. So, yeah, they're going to lose their first 4. The Chiefs, that seems pretty obvious. The Chiefs are just all around better. The Ravens, same thing. With the Chiefs, their offense is ridiculous. With the Ravens, their defense is ridiculous, and their run game is ridiculous. With the Steelers, this one kind of depends on Ben Roethlisberger. But the Steelers' defense, not as good as the Ravens, but still really, really solid defense. But if Big Ben, is Big Ben again, then this one should be won by the Steelers as well. But I can see the Texans taking it. This next one, I think this one is, I could flip this one either way. It's the closest one, but I'm going to give the Vikings the edge. Because their run game, and even though their defense is not what it used to be, it's still better than the Texans. And Mike Zimmer is a much better coach than Bill O'Brien. Next 4. So, they beat the Jags, beat the Titans, lose to the Packers, lose to the Jags. Now, with the Jaguars, I don't know if they will actually lose at all to the Jaguars. Jaguars have no defense. It depends on Minshew and his sophomore year. I think he'll do well, but I'm gonna go with the Texans on this one. Just Watson is just such a good quarterback. I don't see him really just losing this, especially if it's at home. The Titans, again, it's Deshaun Watson's gonna win this game. It's gonna be the passing game, and they're gonna get up early. They're gonna force them to stop using Derrick Henry, which is what the Chiefs did. And I do think the Texans have that offensive ability, just because of how good Deshaun Watson is. That's my opinion on that. But then they're gonna lose to the Packers. I think the Packers, Aaron Rodgers in year 2 of the new system, he's got a better handle on things. He's got a fire lit underneath him because of what they did in the draft. And the Packers' defense actually improved with the loss of Blake Martinez if Christian Kirksey stays healthy. Now, Then they're losing to the Jags, and this one I just kind of division rival. You never know with these games, and I don't know what the Jags are gonna be. I first like blew it off like they're tanking. They're gonna go for Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields. Doesn't matter. They're tanking. I don't think they are anymore. But I'm this one I'd probably flip it back to the Texans. But still, I'm gonna say Jags. Next four. So you're gonna lose to the Browns. This one, if Baker uh, get returns to kind of rookie form, and if they have the right head coach hire, which I think they do now. I didn't last year. I did not like Freddie Kitchens' hire, but I think Stefanski is a good hire, and I think they got that down. I think their running game is going to be really good, and I think the passing game is going to be really good. Their defense can keep up with the Texans' offense, but I don't think the Texans' offense can or defense can keep up with the Browns' offense. But I could again see them winning this because Deshaun Watson. Now, versus Patriots, this is actually one of the ones I changed before I made this video. I originally was going to have the Texans lose and the Patriots win, but then I started thinking, like, they got Cam Newton not too long ago. He's still not 100% familiar. There's going to be no preseason. And they lost a lot of guys. I'll go over that in their video, but I just started really thinking about how many guys they lost and how many guys have opted out now. And I put the Texans winning this before all those opt-outs, so I'm very confident in this win. But then they're going to lose to the Lions. I think this one could be flipped. Thursday night, I just think the Lions, if they're healthy, are just the better team. Matt Patricia and Bill O'Brien, I think they both suck at coaching, so that's kind of even there. But quarterback-wise, I like both Stafford and Watson, and I like both their receiving cores. I like the Lions' run game a lot better with Kerryon Johnson and DeAndre Swift. Much better rushing attack than David Johnson and Duke Johnson. Those guys are both serviceable backs, but they're both number 2 guys. You don't have a number 1. Whereas with the Lions, I think Kerryon, the past 2 years, if he's healthy, he's a number 1, and Swift might be a number 1. So it's 2 number 1s versus 2 number 2s. It's kind of obvious. And then you're going to beat the Colts. Texans are going to beat the Colts. Phillip Rivers, going to throw picks all the time. He always throws picks. Not a huge fan of Phillip Rivers, honestly, in the past couple of years. I had some respect for him, but I don't know. Defensively, I think the Colts are definitely better, and their backfield's better. But Texans, other than T.Y. Hilton on the Colts, Texans have the better quarterback right now and the better receiving core. And I think they'll be able to step over the Colts. And they're at home. So, the final four. Texans screw up their draft pick, but win out to finish 8-8. I am not 100% on who's going to be in this upcoming NFL draft in the 2021 season. For the 2021 season. So I don't know if they would want to even win these games and get a higher pick. Because, if there's a top-tier defensive guy, they should go get him. But they're going to beat the Bears because Bears. I think Deshaun Watson, the Bears picked Trubisky over Watson. He's going to want to beat them for sure. Whether for that reason or not, I don't know. But I think Watson definitely wins this game. Then they're going to sweep the Colts. I got them sweeping the Jags and not the Colts. I'm crazy. But they're going to sweep the Colts. Again, because of Phillip Rivers. I just don't think he's going to be that good of a quarterback. Honestly, if I could, I'd flip these. Actually, I have them in third place, but I didn't realize the tiebreaker. So the Texans are actually in second place because of the tiebreaker. I almost said I would flip them in the Colts record, but they have the Colts at 8-8 too. I originally had the Texans at 7-9. but I changed it at the last second. But then the Bengals are going to lose because, yeah, they're going to be good next year, but not this year. And then, shockingly, you're going to sweep the Titans. I kind of catch the Titans off guard here. They're fighting for a playoff spot, and you want to spoil that? So you do. So that's my reasoning for that. Let's go over their floor. It's bad. Their floor is 4-12. Yeah. I don't see Deshaun Watson doing worse than 500. So let's put that back to where we were. And 8-8. Now your ceiling is much better. 13-3. And if you get 13-3, it's because Deshaun Watson. A small part of me is actually rooting against the a small part of me is rooting against the Chiefs this year so they can get rid of Bill O'Brien. I do not like Bill O'Brien. I thought he should have been fired after the playoff choking last year. And the fact that he almost lost the Bills too. He just should have been fired. Like, they should have pulled the Titans. And even though they made it to the divisional round and then got blown the hell out, they still fired their coach even though they made it to the divisional round. And it worked out last year so far. I think they made the right decision there. And I think the Texans should have done the same thing. Now, they didn't necessarily, like, they got blown out. But they did lead a lot. But then they blew that lead horribly. Like, you blew, what, a 3-score lead and then still got blown out? That's horrible. How do you do that? That's some Bill O'Brien coaching right there. So, I have them going 8-8, but I honestly see them doing better. I would say maybe 10-6, 11-5. Probably 10-6. Probably beating the Jags and the Lions or Vikings. So, that's my thinking on that. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one for the final AFC South one.